Okay, let's talk about something that can be a real headache, even for the pros. GAMP5 and EU Annex 11. You know that feeling when you're in a meeting and you're pretty sure you're the only one who doesn't quite get how they fit together? Well, trust me, you're not alone. And today, we're going to get it all sorted out.
So what is the deal here? Is one of these a strict must-follow rule and the other just some helpful advice? Do you have to worry about both? And really, how in the world do they actually work together to keep your systems compliant? That's the puzzle we're going to solve right now.
All right, let's cut right to the chase. If you remember one thing from this whole explainer, make it this. Think of Annex 11 as the law. It tells you what you have to do. No ifs, ands, or buts. And GAMP5, well, that's your guidebook. It shows you how to do it. See, one's the destination, the other's the map. It's that simple.
Okay, so let's start with the law itself, the rule book. We're going to really dig into what Annex 11 is, and more importantly, what it's actually asking you to do.
Now, the language here is everything. Annex 11 is not a suggestion. It's a mandatory regulatory requirement. It is literally written into the EU's good manufacturing practices. If you don't comply, you're not just getting a little slap on the wrist. We're talking major inspection findings, the kind that can get you into some serious trouble.
So what does the rulebook actually say? Well, the big idea is pretty straightforward. If you use a computer to do something a person used to do, you absolutely cannot let product quality drop. You have to manage your risks, keep your data safe, prove your systems do what they're supposed to do, and keep an eye on your suppliers. It's all about control.
And let me just say this one more time so it's crystal clear. If you operate in the EU market, Annex 11 is not optional. It is the law of the land. It is the first thing inspectors are trained to look for when they walk in the door.
Okay, so Annex 11 gives you the rules. But how do you actually follow them day to day? Well, that's where GAMP5 comes in. This is the playbook that helps you win the compliance game.
You can think of GAMP5 as the industry's collective wisdom, all written down. It's not a law, but it's pretty much the gold standard. The whole thing is built around a super smart idea. Use a risk-based approach so you can focus your effort on what truly matters: patient safety and product quality.
And this is where GAMP5 is just brilliant. It gives you a clear, step-by-step life cycle. You figure out what you need the system to do, you look at the risks, and then, and this is key, you categorize your software. This step is a game changer because it stops you from making a huge mistake, either over-testing a simple system and wasting a ton of money, or worse, under-testing a complex one and creating a massive risk. It lets you scale your effort intelligently.
So just to lock it in, Annex 11 tells you what you must do. GAMP5 is the industry-accepted best practice that shows you how to do it. It's the practical playbook you use to prove to inspectors that you have everything under control. All right, so we've got the law, we've got the playbook. Now for the main event. Let's connect the dots and see exactly how they work together in the real world.
This table really puts it all into perspective. Look at a topic like validation. Annex 11 just says you must validate your system. It's a command. But GAMP5, that gives you the risk-based approach to actually do it in a smart, efficient way. Or look at supplier oversight. Annex 11 says you need it. GAMP5 gives you a framework for how to assess and manage those suppliers. They're a perfect match.
Let's get really practical for a second. Data integrity is, a huge deal for regulators right now. So, Annex 11 demands it. But how do you actually prove to an inspector that your system's data is trustworthy?
Well, you pull out your GAMP5 playbook. That's how. You use its methods to implement and test your audit trails. You verify your backup procedures. You validate your user access controls and electronic signatures. You follow the GAMP5 guide, and what you end up with is a mountain of objective evidence that will satisfy any inspector's questions about data integrity.
So what's the bottom line here? What do you need to actually do on your next project? Don't worry, I'm going to give you a super simple 7-step checklist you can practically take with you into your next planning meeting.
Here it is, your cheat sheet, 7 steps. You start with the GAMP categories to figure out what you're dealing with. Then you link your requirements to your risks, you check out your supplier, write and run your tests, and lock down your data. And then, the grand finale, step 7, the traceability matrix. This isn't just paperwork, it's your entire compliance story. It's the document that connects every single rule in Annex 11 directly to the specific GAMP5 activity or test that proves you met that rule. That matrix is your golden ticket with an inspector. And I'll leave you with this final thought. Annex 11 is changing. An updated version is on the horizon, and you can bet it's going to be even more focused on things like traceability and supplier management. So the real question is your playbook, your GAMP5 approach, ready for the new rules of the game? Thanks for tuning in.